Yeah, I mean, money is the ultimate system of control. And, if you can't control the money, then it's going to be very hard to control the people, whether you're trying to do that overtly or covertly. And, I've had conversations about the open metaverse on the show, and I want to get your thoughts later on that. Talking to Yatsu of Animoca Brands and a bunch of people, Sandbox, saying we've got to make sure it stays open and it's not controlled by a Facebook or a Zuckerberg. But if you think about it, the monetary system is a bit of a metaverse, right? They can control your whole reality by controlling your money. Because if you don't have control of your money, I mean, freedom of speech was something we fought for hard 2 years ago. You don't even have the option of speaking if you can't even control your own money. And so, like you said, it's built into a system of politicians, media companies, all of this that is probably happy with the status quo. And so, again, whether they're conspiring or not, it's in everyone's interest to kind of keep it the same. Just final question on that. I was speaking, I have an academy where we teach DeFi, and I have a small group called Kings of DeFi, and I had a bunch of people talking last night, and a former person on Wall Street for 25 years, and she's trying to educate people on crypto. And I said, do you think these old school people will ever learn crypto, or do you think it'll have to die out? As in, at some point, is it a new generation with new knowledge? What are your thoughts on that, Carl? Do you think you can re-educate the world, or do you think sometimes a mindset is so closed and it's reinforced by so many things around us that you'll literally need those people to die and a new generation to bring it up?
Great question. And I do have a strong opinion on that. It is true that there's this word of saying, like, it's hard to make an old dog teach them how to sit, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's true.
It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's it. So basically,
you're not talking about me, are you? You're not talking about me. Okay.
Not you.
Okay.
But I am talking about my parents, for example. It took a lot of convincing for them. Actually, when I started my Bitcoin career, my crypto career, they were very skeptical. They thought it was super shady and super strange, and they told me to go get a real job, a real education. They were not happy at all. It took a lot of convincing. If I didn't make money from this, they would probably still not believe me. But because of the fact that I make money, now they see that it's a real thing. But I think it's true. And let's just compare with the children. Children, they learn languages like that. A 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, they can speak a new language that they learned literally in the past 2-3 years fluently, right? Because that's how it works. But if I'm going to learn a new language, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's just, it's hard. But for children, they are now growing up with these iPads in their hand, and they're doing all these tricks and things. They know the iPad way better than their parents, because the brain of children it's just so pure and powerful, and they learn very, very quickly. Language is a perfect example. But I think that is a very important point, because I think the children will be the first to understand the metaverse. They will be the first to adopt the metaverse. Just like the children, the younger people were the first to use Facebook, for example. And eventually the younger people, they moved on to Instagram. Now the older people are using Facebook. And then the young generation started to adopt TikTok. And now the old people are using Facebook, and even Instagram is starting to shift, So the younger generation are always the people that try new things, understand it, adopt it, and make it big. And then only later, when it already has reached adoption, that's when the true mass adoption happens with the older generation. They always come last when it comes to at least technology like that. The same will be with Bitcoin, crypto, metaverse, and all of that stuff. Now it's the younger generation, and it will take a long time before we reach that critical mass adoption. But I'm patient. I think it's going to take another 10, maybe 15, 20 years before we see Bitcoin being integrated everywhere, before we use the metaverse in any real sense. But yeah, I'm patient. I'm definitely patient, and I don't look for these like get rich quick things, because that's usually how people lose money. I think you have to just make research, become confident in what you're doing, enjoy what you do, feel passion for what you're doing, and success, money, and wealth will come your way. You will attract it.